You're with us. I'm Gareth Edwards, 9 away from 8 o'clock. We continue with our focus on the criminal justice system this morning. The police often bear the brunt of criticism for the high rate of crime in the country, and then suspects go free due to insufficient evidence. Of course, that upsets a lot of people as well, obviously. So let's find out what the Special Investigating Unit's Kaiser Kanyago has to make of this, the spokesperson for the SIU joining us. Kaiser, good morning to you. And are these criticisms justified, do you think? Let's start there, the criticisms of the police.
Good morning, Gareth. And you are very faint, a little bit faint, but obviously the criticisms really are not justified. We in the law enforcement agencies have a lot of work that we are doing, and unfortunately the public only see or expect a certain kind of results at the end, and they don't know the kind of work that needs to be done before all of that success that they're looking for end up coming up. Therefore, it is really important that people understand that there's a lot of work that the police have to do, there's a lot of work that we have got to do, and there's a lot of work that goes into the prosecution of the cases.
Kaiser, I'm not sure if the audio is any better now. Hopefully the team has pushed the audio up to you. Hopefully you can hear me better. So having said that as well, there's a lot of work. Obviously, it's like anyone's job. There's work that goes on behind the scenes that doesn't appear on TV. What could make it easier for you to get your jobs done? What would you need? I'll tell you why I'm asking. We've got a couple of options on our website. Tell me if you would go for any of these. Employ more staff, better equip the current staff, use more technology, and also create satellite courts in areas for better convictions. What could be done to make it easier for you?
I think the combination of the issues that you have raised works, because I can only talk about us at the SIU. We are focusing, for example, now at the increased number of investigators, which we have started doing. And we are also focusing on the technology side of things, because it will be very important for us to look into the technology side to make sure that it makes our life easier when we do our investigation, but also to help government preempt some of this corruption even before it happens. Because sometimes when you've got to deal with corruption when it has happened, it becomes very difficult because the people do not want to be found, and therefore they have made sure that they close up things. But if we are able to use technology, but also to have enough personnel from our side, we will be in a position to push most of our cases faster than we are doing. But we're also dealing with the issue of the courts. We are very clear, and we have been very clear as far back as 2019, that we needed a specialized court, and we were given the special tribunal. And you have seen, because of that we are able to now push most of the cases as quickly as possible through the special tribunal, and we get a lot of work done.
Let's talk about, obviously, one of the most high-profile cases in the country. You'll know that we've been reporting this, the case of Senzo Mayiwe, that court case 8 years later. What, in a situation like that, do you think could be causing these kinds of delays? It does seem like a very long time, and we haven't really gotten anywhere. What tends to happen, Kaiser? Take me into your confidence. What tends to set these big cases back like this?
Unfortunately, it's not things that I would be privy to, because this is a matter that is within the purview of the police, and they are the ones that are investigating. And it becomes very difficult to even try and preempt what the reasons are, and that would be not fair on my side to try and even analyze it, because I don't have the facts.
And the cases that the SIU is involved with as well, what sort of hold-ups do you find that you're having to deal with every single day, some of the SIU cases that you're dealing with at the moment?
Yes, in most of our cases that we deal with, the hold-up becomes people who do not want to cooperate. And in most cases, you find that because most of the cases that we deal with are corruption, and they relate to issues that are procurement in nature. And therefore, there are people who think that by not cooperating at a certain point, we would not be able to achieve our goal. But ultimately, we are in a process of making sure that anyone who is not cooperating, we subpoena them. We have got the powers to subpoena them, and they cooperate with us ultimately, and we get what we want to get. And you might have seen with the current cases that we have come before the courts, We have worked very well with the National Prosecuting Authority. We've worked very well with the the hawks, and we have made sure that the people who have done wrong are put to book. And you might have realized now recently there was this matter of the Iguruleni, where people were sentenced for corruption for 15 years, and which is a clear warning that says, with the working together of the law enforcement agencies, we'll be in a position to achieve all the successes.
I'm glad you mentioned the sentence for the crime in this case, Kaiser, because a lot of people also criticize either early bail or bail that should never have been given, or early parole. It seems that you have sentences laid down, but then parole comes into it, and it almost becomes a slap on the wrist. What do you make of the criticism that the parole is making it easy for criminals to be repeat offenders?
No, obviously, a parole system is a system that is there in the law of this country, and there are conditions. And my understanding of that is that when somebody's on parole, they are still serving the sentence. They are just serving the sentence outside of a prison. But I think the Department of Correctional Services will be better positioned to explain that. But from where we're sitting, we want to make sure that as law enforcement agencies, we send a clear message that corruption cannot be tolerated, and we will deal with those issues and make sure that whoever is found to have been corrupt will be punished and will be given the appropriate punishment.
How important is the crime intelligence in your line of work? Obviously, you do your own investigations. What about state crime intelligence and state security? How often do you work together with those departments? Does it do anything for you of value?
When there is a need for us to engage them, we do. But in the main, because most of our investigations are procurement related, we talk mainly with other law enforcement agencies. We talk with the Financial Intelligence Center. We talk with the OX. We talk with the SARS. And most of these organizations that are part of the ACTT. And therefore, if there is a need for us to do so, we go and then get whatever information that we get, because intelligence is everything. If we have got the intelligence and we've got the whistleblowers, we are able to crack most of the cases.
And in a yes or no, you're getting the help you need. Do you think crime intelligence is good enough, yes or no?
All the law enforcement agencies are doing their best, and we get the assistance that we want from them.
Well, I appreciate your time. Kaiser Kganyago joining us this morning, spokesperson of the SIU. We're going to continue with that focus on our court justice system in the country in a few moments from now, also back down to KZN.